Hey all, welcome to Treck. Welcome to the live stream. I'm just going to quickly have a check on all the systems to make sure everything is working well. If you can hear me clearly, just press a thumbs up or maybe send me a message. So let me quickly check all the systems and then I'll get back to you. Let us see what's happening here. Let's do the check. System check. Let's see what's happening here. Check. Check. Okay, all set. Hey, hi Joseph, hi Ian. How are you guys doing? All set for the day. I think everything is looking okay. I guess you guys can hear me clearly. So I think it's time for us to get started. I'll just dock my chat window here so I can see you clearly. And here we go. So today I have a few things that I wanted to talk about while we wait for the market to close. And I'll also be very curious to get what your opinion is on these things. As I mentioned in the morning, I was expecting a lot of problems due to the visit of Speaker Pelosi to Taiwan. Definitely we had some hiccups in the morning, but things seems to have picked up much better because apart from putting some restrictions on Taiwan and making some noises, I think nothing major has happened. China seems to be behaving a little more responsibly. So overall, I think we are saved for the time being. I quickly checked the indices before I started the live stream. They are looking pretty decent to me. I didn't see much problems out there. So with that said, I think for her in this particular visit, it's going to be very tricky. Any speech that she does, she has to be extremely careful on the wordings and everything because China is really upset with anyone from the US going to Taiwan because they have a feeling that Taiwan should not be recognized as independent of China. They consider Taiwan to be part of China. So the reports say that around 100 Taiwanese products have been banned from being imported into China at this point of time as a punishment. But I don't think that's going to matter much to the Taiwanese because there is so much of demand globally. So I don't see any problem for Taiwan unless it is China-specific products which nobody else wants. I don't think that will serve as a punishment. And also there are reports that China conducted military exercises 80 miles off Taiwan. That's another kind of provocation that you have usually. And I have noticed that in the past, whenever US has done anything like this, China has used North Korea as a proxy to stir up trouble. So that area is a bit difficult, and it would have been better if Nancy Pelosi had not visited right now. But anyway, the visit is over, and for us, the good news is that it has not hurt the indices that much. So I'm happy about it. And the other item I wanted to discuss about was that there was a news report which says interim data suggests that air travel in fall is likely to cost 25% less than usual. That would mean that many people would be interested in traveling, assuming that this monkeypox and COVID situation is not going to be any worse. People have now got used to all of these things, so they will travel. And when they travel, this could help with tourism. And it also help the revival of an economy which has just dipped into recession. Traditional definition is 2 negative quarters of GDP is recession. Now, whatever you may call it, it is what it is. You can call it anything by any other name. But we need to come out of it, and I think this will definitely help. The only problem for it... oh, thanks, Josh. Oh, you have to take on another patient? Josh, are you a physician? Okay, so while I wait for Josh to reply, oh, great. I think we are going to tap you for the CRISPR-Cas9 and other things. Oh, acupuncturist. Okay. That is good. You will at least know more than I do about CRISPR. So that will be good. Acupuncture always helped. Good, Josh, good. So as I was saying, the interim data is suggesting that there's going to be more travel because it's going to become less expensive. But I hope that the oil prices do not spoil the party for us, and that's the reason why I'd keep my fingers crossed on it. But as I was mentioning, oil prices are supposed to go down because of demand destruction. A discount in airline rent is probably the result of falling oil prices. So I don't think it's going to become much of an issue unless the capacity needed for flying increases dramatically and asks for even more oil. So with that said, I have a personal note here. Of course, this is not US information. This is information which I have personally experienced in Toronto. As you know, I'm a broker out here, real estate broker. So I was trying to help a few clients and I had put our own condo in the market last week in downtown. It went off in one day, and people are willing to pay almost a year's rent at the asking price, no negotiations. And there are multiple offers. So condo units leave immediately as soon as they are listed if they are a good condo, especially in the downtown core. So I'm helping a couple of clients now. And by the time that I have shown them the listing and they said, okay, they're interested and they would be willing to come to see it in the evening or something like that. When I call back to book an appointment, they say it's already spoken for and lease has been signed and waiting for the deposit check. So that's what is happening here. And all this is because of the fact that mortgage interest rate has gone up, and all those people who were renting earlier and saving up to move into their own home are now finding it difficult to get mortgage, and therefore they are not moving. And there are new renters who are coming in with immigration and other things, and there's an extreme shortage of good quality condos in the market. And freehold properties and others are still languishing in the market in the sale section because there are not enough people who have the capability to qualify for those kind of mortgages. So there is a lot of difficulty out there for new immigrants in Toronto. I think the same thing is happening in parts of US also, where rents are going really high and they're occupying as high as 40% of a person's salary. So things are a little difficult on that front. Yes, Joseph, you can ask. E-clerks, not yet. Joseph, e-clerks, not yet. I hadn't had the time. I just posted my Q2 earning for Beam. I was working on that. I got a whole bunch of earnings that I have to put out for Q2. And I also got to finish the promised profile of all the genomic sequencing companies that I had mentioned. I have done only 1 out of 10, so I have got 9 more to go. But I promise you, I'll look at e-clerks for sure. I'll definitely do that. Okay. So with that said, yeah, the rents are very high, and what this also means for our economy is that people are going to be cutting down on eating out and those kind of discretionary expenses. People are going to try to save up, and that would mean that the economy is going to cool off. So we are going to face that kind of a problem. But for Toronto, the economy is very different. You cannot do a direct correlation between the percentage of salary to rent or to the price of the house, because immigrants are coming with lots of money, and that skews the market for sure. Josh says, in my hometown, rents went up 40% in 2 years. Yes, that's what will happen when people are not able to buy homes. That's what will happen. So whenever I see new immigrants, right, young new immigrant couples, I typically help brand new immigrants to Toronto, help them to settle down, and I always advise them, don't be in a rush to buy a car. Rent a place like an apartment on a transit, Toronto Transit. You save the transit costs and everything, save up the money as soon as possible, buy a small condo or whatever you can, because it's no point paying somebody else's mortgage and being on the hook at the end of every year for an increase or to move from one place to another. So that's my advice generally. After the first house, everything becomes much easier because you're running with the market. So that's my little bit of advice out there, off topic from genomics, but definitely that's another area of my interest and competence. Now, having said that, household debt has climbed past 16 trillion in the second quarter due to rising inflation. That has pushed up housing and auto loan balances because some people are not able to pay at the same rate as before. So they may go back to the bank and renegotiate payments. so that the amortization is for a longer period of time. And maybe some people were paying more over and above their regular mortgage installments, but they can't do it anymore. So all those factors go into accumulating higher balances. So those kind of things are happening. Auto loan balances are also increasing. And credit card balance is the place where my eyes popped. Credit card balance surged 13% over the past year. This is reported to be the largest gain in more than 20 years. So credit card balances, that's the place where I'll keep my eye on, because it's going to damage a lot of people's credit report and their eligibility to get a mortgage. And at the same time, credit card interest is really terrible. So it's going to dampen further purchases, and delinquencies will go up. So those are the things that I'm worried about. We'll see how it all turns out. No worries, Inf. Thanks for joining up. And continuing further, a cool down in the job market is underway as per the latest JOLTS report. I think Inf had mentioned about this in one of his comments in the morning. But the interesting thing is that the number of job openings dropped in June, while at the same time, near record numbers of people continue to quit and get hired into new roles, according to the Labor Department's latest job openings and labor turnover summary. Now, here I have a personal observation to make. This comes from over 9 years of working in the technology sector, and also from looking at other people that I know who are working in really good companies. What seems to be happening is that once a person joins a company, they don't get any more increments. And if they have stayed in the company for more than a couple of years, then they start getting less of bonus. The only way you can increase your salary is by jumping. And that's the reason why I think this is happening. Anybody in the comments have any other observations, please let me know. Okay, let me wait for you guys to respond to me, but that's the major, those are the major points that I wanted to talk to you guys about before we start the review of the end of day. What about the HKD pump and dump? Yeah, I think one should not invest. One should not invest in companies and businesses that you don't know about. That's always a pump and dump scheme. Some Wolf of Wall Street guy. Yes, that's what happens, and there's a glass ceiling, Josh. There's a glass ceiling that comes in where you continue working as a full-time employee, and you find that you can't go past this. Then you have two options: leave the company, go to another company for higher salary, or become an independent contractor where you get a whole lot of money and you handle the tax yourself, so you're much better off. But the moment you become an independent contractor, you lose all the benefits that you get, and then getting back into full-time is again a hassle. So yeah, that's what happens. And after a point of time, all the experienced people above the age of around 55, they get pushed out of the market because younger people are available for much cheaper, willing to work for longer, and don't have an attitude or an opinion or anything, are more malleable. So that's what is happening overall in the industry. Once you cross 55, curtains down as far as being competitive is concerned. You just have to glide to the sunset. Yeah, thanks for pumping the stock. We can now return. Yes, that's what is happening. And there's a very interesting development. You see, these companies are so nefarious. The top 5 banks here in Canada, each one of them used to hire independent contractors separately. And the rates kept on going up. So everybody was happy. Then what they did was they got together and created a consulting company, which was now screening all the job applications. So all these banks would put their contract jobs into this consulting company, and the consulting company will give 24 hours for all recruitment agencies to send resumes to them with for the requirement stating the rate. And they would say that a candidate can come only through one of the agencies. If they come through multiple agencies, they'll be disqualified. So you have all these agents scrambling to get you to sign up with them so that they can send your resume within the 24-hour deadline. So you have to select one of them, and then this agency also specifies what's the max rate they will be willing to pay, and therefore even the contracting gig has been ruined to a good extent by that new development. Bye, Josh. Thanks for joining. Thanks. Thanks for giving me company. Have a nice day. So that's what we have out here. Yeah, that'll be next time. Yeah, he'll get it. He'll get another job. Not to worry. The market is there for IT jobs. So we are around 3:45 p.m. And I think I would like to go and have a look at what's happening in our TradingView platform. Let's see what's the action out there. I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment to the screens out here. I'm going to just shrink. I can shrink at will. You see, I go down. I can become half the screen and so on. So I really enjoy this. And here we go. I think we are back here in the screen with Nasdaq. And let me pop out the chat window so that I can see what you're doing. Ginkgo Bioworks, I think it's a very interesting concept, Venkata. Ginkgo Bioworks looks good to me. The only concern I have about them is kind of liability, because they have the foundry and they have got the code. You just need a rogue employee to go over it and create problems. They seem very interesting, creating all kinds of organisms, but they need much more supervision. I think sooner or later there will be some amount of regulatory oversight on them, and the sooner it comes, the better. Yeah, that's what I think about Ginkgo Bioworks. I would wait and see what happens to them. They're still very inexpensive. They create organisms as per a requirement, and they also save all the knowledge into a database, so that once they try to work on a client and they do various configurations, they record whatever has come out of it, so they don't have to repeat it again. So that also saves them time as they go further. As they do more and more clients, they become much more efficient, and their cost of coming up with new deliverables becomes much less. It's an interesting business model, but there is no competition for Ginkgo Bioworks at this point of time. They're on their own, so they're pioneering the market, in my opinion. So that's what I think about Ginkgo Bioworks. Having said that, I'm going to look at this Nasdaq Futures. I'm going to hide the chat window, so I won't be able to see what you guys are saying. I'll come back to you in a short while. Give me 2 or 3 minutes. So we have Nasdaq Futures has just become flat. So our Nancy Pelosi visit is not causing much of a problem. Probably she made the right call, and everybody has been mature. So it's all set. So this looks good to me. Now let's go into the indicators and see what is happening there. US oil. Guys, if you had seen my morning show, I was saying that US oil will go down for sure. See, it has gone down. It's gone down since morning. It's up only 0.57% in the morning. I think it was up around 2% or something. So this is a movement in the right direction. QQQ is marginally negative. I won't think it is too much. It's not too bad. It's still above the 100-day. I was thinking that it could break down below 100-day because of the Pelosi visit. So I was wrong on that. I'm happy to be wrong in this instance. S&P 500 also same story, not bad. Russell's has been doing positive. That's really good for us. Dow Jones has done worse than the others. It has fallen below the 100-day exponential moving average. It's going to test the 9-day exponential moving average. So that's what we have there. VIX, it's formed a doji candle, and yeah, it's straddled between the two supports, a support of 22.73 and resistance of 24.28. I would like this to come down. I think tomorrow it might come down because the Pelosi visit has not caused any issues. So if there is no issues for another 24 to 48 hours, we are in the clear. Everything should be fine. Put call ratio has gone slightly bullish. It's neutral to slightly bullish. XLY, XLP shows that we are back into risk on, so it's going to be very good for genomics. When we look at genomics, we should see something positive out there. US dollar index, oh God, it has leaped up. I again think this is the Taiwan visit effect. It's going to go down tomorrow. That's my expectation, because momentum is still below average. So until momentum goes above average, I won't trust the direction, but I think it's going to come down. So with that said, let me go and look at the chat window and see what the guys are saying here. Crisp, QQQ, SPY, IWM. Yeah, I can do that, but I was thinking to do it after 4 o'clock, and I can dwell a little more on CRISPR and probably answer some questions. No, I won't think it's slightly bullish. I just mentioned that it's very close to 1, so it's almost neutral. Put call ratio is almost neutral. So has Ben joined us? So where is Ben? I didn't see Ben here. Let me check who are all there in our there are five now. Okay. So that's what we have here. And let us go on to look at the chat and see. So do you want me to check out CRISPR, QQQ, SPY? I already did the QQQ, SPY, IWM. Maybe I'm seeing the message a bit late. we'll do all of those subsequently. Then let's go back here and look at crypto. We haven't been into crypto for a while. So what is happening here? Bitcoin is showing amazing strength. It's still in a bullish track. So I think Jesse is not going to get his chance to buy Bitcoin at 20,000. The boat has sailed. We are still up. Today we have some indecision, but still supported by the 9-day exponential moving average. Momentum is also above average, so Bitcoin is okay. It's still, I would consider it to be in a bull run. That's fine by me. And Coinbase has improved a lot. That looks good. Coinbase is looking much better. And it has broken out above this diagonal line of resistance on the bear channel. So if this continues a little bit and breaks above this line of resistance at 80.91, I'll be happy. I have a bit of Coinbase holdings, and I'm in significant loss with them. So that's what is happening out there. And I would like to go and check out the commodities and see what is happening with the commodities. Wheat has started falling after rising continuously. So we have a bull channel here for wheat. I think wheat is not out of the, it's not in the clear. So I would connect these two lines and make this as a bull channel. Wheat is coming down a little bit, but it still looks pretty strong to me. It needs to drop further. It has dropped almost 1 percentage point today. Copper has come down. This is I have mixed feelings about copper. On one end, I think that a demand for copper is going to indicate that production and everything is going up, and employment is going to be much more stable. On the other hand, I'm thinking that we have tight labor conditions, and we have inflationary environment, so let things cool down a bit. So I'm not able to make my mind up about what it means when copper goes up or down. Initially, I was happy that it came down because it had gone significantly above. And this is 21st of October 2020. So I'd take 2020 as a benchmark, and I thought it had gone significantly above. When it came down, I was okay because it's coming back to original levels. Now it is starting to go back up again, and it's almost close to where it was somewhere around December 2020. So this is also okay, but the moment we come into this region, somewhere around 3.76, I'd be really worried, because then I'll think that it's going to feed into inflation and cause problems for us. That's what I would think. If any of you have any opinions, please let me know on the chat window. No, I'm not bullish on Palantir stock. I had Palantir stock. I made losses on Palantir stock, so I didn't go for Palantir. Another reason why I'm not that bullish on Palantir is because they do a lot of equity dilution, and that keeps on bringing down the value of the stock. When there is so much of stock floating, the appreciation rate is difficult, but they have a good business model and they have good clients. So that way they are quite strong. Unless they change this policy of equity dilution, I won't be bullish on Palantir. So that's what I think about Palantir. Inf is saying, isn't copper down a sign of a recession? I would assume copper being down as a sign of a recession, but at the same time, the thin line between where we are during inflation and where you go into a recession, it happens very quickly. So at this point of time, we are in recession. So any improvement in copper prices would be a positive indication. And when we were in inflation, any increase in copper price would have meant a bad situation for us, because it's going to feed into inflation. So I think you have helped me make up my mind. Yeah, go off, Inf, no problem. We'll catch up with you again. So at this point of time, I think copper is in a neutral zone as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Gold is doing pretty okay. So with that said, let me go and have a look at the chat. Yes, guys, thank you very much. We'll have a good time and we'll catch up with you again. I'm going to just look at what's happening with the time. We just got 4 minutes to go. So why don't I start doing the analysis for Genomic shares and get started. But first, I would like to go and have a look at the big tech, the ones that move the markets. So I'll start off with Amazon. Amazon is down minus 0.74, still on a bullish track, not worried about it. All indicators are good. And of course, Amazon went to almost overbought, so we can understand that out there. When we come to Apple, Apple is down minus 0.90, again overbought, therefore it came down. I'm okay with that. Microsoft down 1.16. I'm a little bit concerned about Microsoft at this point of time. I'm going to hope that this is the Taiwan effect, and tomorrow things may change around because MACD is bullish and we are above average. So that's what I'm going to think about it. Google is up 0.45. Everything is looking good here for Google to go ahead. So I think the state of the market seems to be pretty good. Let's go on into genomics and look at let's look at quickly at Tesla. See what Tesla is doing today. Tesla is up 1.14%. So Joe is definitely making some money with Tesla out here, unless he has already sold it or waiting for split so that you can do some kind of options. So that's you're in a good shape out there, my friend. And then looking at genomics, I'm just going to sort this out so that we have the winners at the top. PSEB is up here, and where is Jesse? Jesse has gone fishing. Jesse would be very happy to place some calls on PSEB at this point of time. He would get handsome premium, and he could probably dilute his holdings of PSEB. So this is looking very good here, and we are gone above average in the momentum, so that's also excellent. And MACD is also bullish. I'm happy about PSEB. SQZ has gained 8.42%. It's up 23 cents, but still I'm in loss. I'm at 3.05 is my average purchase price. So I'm rooting for it to go above, but it's still very weak in the chart. So I don't have much hope there. Bluebird is up 30 cents. That is around 8%. Pre-earnings. Earnings come out on the 4th. Please check out my Q2 earnings review if you have not yet done already. Check the YouTube channel check our YouTube channel homepage. Look at the videos, you'll find it. Then we have a bearish MACD, but momentum is picking up, but it's still below average, and we still have support out here. We have done better than yesterday, so I'm happy about that. Verve is up 4.15%, sorry, 4.51%. We are still within yesterday's range, but we have improved, so that's a good thing, and we are still respecting this diagonal line of support. So I'm happy about this. With that said, MACD is looking bearish, and momentum is just about piercing into average. Good times ahead for Verve, a good recovery. DNA, Ginkgo Bioworks up 4.36%, still struggling to break through the 50-day exponential moving average. However, I'm encouraged that the momentum has gone above average, so things are going to start looking better for DNA. Let us see when the earnings is at. The earnings is on 17th of August. Invitae is up 4.34%. If you look at the earnings date, it's 9th of August. And when we look at the MACD, it is bearish, and momentum is picking up. It's below average. So Invitae is still very weak. It's done better than yesterday, 2 consecutive green days, but we still have resistance at 2.15 for us. And that's a big concern. So with that said, let us look at Editas. Editas is up around 4% at this point of time. It's gone back above this diagonal line of support. Thank God, I'm happy about that. We are still on a bullish channel. Momentum is also picking up and above average. And MACD was below, is below the signal line. So it's bearish, but it's tending towards the signal line. That's also another good factor. And we have earnings coming up tomorrow, which is the 3rd. Again, for Editas, I have done a Q2 2022 earnings video. Please have a look at it. I put efforts to make it. I'd be really happy if some of you can actually go and have a look at it. That would be nice. Allogene is up 3.22%, but it has managed to get back into the bull channel again. So I'm happy about it. And you can see that it neatly bounced off the support at 11.98 and has come back into the bull channel. Happy about that. MACD is looking bearish, but momentum is above average, so I'm confident that things are going to get better going forward. The market has closed now, and post-market there is no trade for Allogene. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 3.15%, and it's back into the bull channel that we had here. It's back into the pennant that we had there, and I'm again hopeful that we'll break through the pennant on the upward side. MACD is bearish, but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is become above average and pointed up, so I'm happy about that for CRISPR. No trades post-market. ARCG is up 2.28%, but still very weak on the charts. The MACD is bearish and the momentum is above average. So the above average part of the momentum is something that I like, but we have heavy resistance out here. We have broken above the resistance at 36.91. So I'm going to mark that as a support, but we still need to break above this diagonal line of resistance, which was earlier a support for the bull channel. And by the looks of it, I think like Verve and others have done, we may also be able to break up and get back into the bull channel. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Intelia is up 2.10%, but still it's below the diagonal line of resistance. It is still consolidating. And the way I would look at it is I would draw a trend line out here. And this is going to be my pennant. So this is my bullish pennant out here, and we are supposed to break out above this pennant. So I'm looking forward to that. MACD is bearish, but momentum is above average and picking up. I like that with Intelia, no trades post-market. Illumina up 1.64% during the day, still within the diagonal line of support. We're still in a bull channel, very happy about it. Everything is looking good. MACD, momentum, everything is looking good. More gains for Illumina going forward. IDNA is finally up 1.54%. But looking very weak on the charts. Momentum has picked up, so that's something I'm happy about, but it is still facing a lot of headwinds because of the diagonal line of resistance, which was earlier a support for the pennant. So this is going to be very difficult to break through in the next 2 or 3 days. So I'm a bit fearful for IDNA. We'll see what happens. Beam Therapeutics is up 0.51%, still above the diagonal line of support. I'm happy with that. It's also crossed over the 200-day and the 9-day exponential and the 20-day exponential moving average. So I'm happy about that. It's being constrained by the 9-day exponential moving average. MACD is bearish, but momentum is still above average and slightly picking up. So I'm hoping for better things for Beam going forward. And we also have earnings on the 9th of August. I've released the Q2 2022 earnings estimate for Beam. It's a 20-minute video. Please check it out. I just released it before I started the live stream. So when you get a chance, please go and have a look and let me know what you think about it. Teladoc is up 0.30%, still looking weak, still above the minor support of 35.50. Caribou Biosciences has lost 12 cents and it's below the line of resistance. It couldn't break through it at 8.25 because it was a very strong resistance in the confluence of the diagonal line of resistance, which is this green line, which was earlier a support for the bull channel. So hopefully, day after tomorrow, we'll have an opportunity to take these two resistances separately, and that will be our opportunity because MACD is looking bullish and momentum is still above average. And I'm going in for IMTX. IMTX is flat at the end of the day and also post-market, so it has just stayed within this diagonal line of resistance on the pennant. So I'm expecting that tomorrow we are going to break out above the pennant on the upper side. That's what I would expect because MACD is overbought. And also, MACD is very bullish and momentum is overbought. RSI is looking overbought. So I'm happy with the situation right now. There will be a sideways movement and that will be taking us out of the bullish pennant that we have here. And we'll open somewhere out here in the morning and convert that into a support going forward. Right now, this is a resistance. I'm going to mark this red, but it's going to become a support tomorrow, in my opinion. And that leaves us with Novartis and Pfizer, which I'm not going to talk about because they are big companies. They're not pure genomic play. So with that said, I think I would like to bring this video session to an end, unless there is any questions from anybody else. And I'm also going to look at whether I can answer some questions. I'm going to look at the chat window and see if I can answer any of your questions. Let me go and see who is all there and what they are saying. Okay. Yep. I think everybody is done, and there are no questions. Unless there are no questions, I'll be off. So I think Josh is still online. Venkata has gone. Someone else is online. Joseph is also online. So if anyone has any questions, I'll handle that, or else I think it's probably time to say bye, because I don't have anything else to talk about other than this. So, okay, guys, that said, bye for now.